I'm not alone in the studio today. I've got a special guest today. And as usual, it is not, we do not introduce our guest self. So I'm going to ask our lovely gentleman here to just introduce himself. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience? Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Sifiso Nkosi. A very normal human being, very down to earth, humble. Born and bred in the dusty streets of Mhluzi. Grew up here, started school here, obviously did some things outside the town, especially business. I'm full-time in business, running my own business called Express Group. We do newspaper printing, also do newspaper advertising, as well as printing your large format, your small format, your signage, your branding. That is us.
Okay, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And once again, we would like to thank you for honoring this appointment. Thank you for allowing us at Talitha Cumi to FM you. And welcome to Talitha Cumi FM.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. So yeah, you were saying that you run this businesses. So
yes,
you are into newspaper and
yes,
printing and stuff like that.
Correct.
Awesome stuff. So Sifiso, we are a love show. We talk about love and relationships.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to hear from you what you've got to share with us this
afternoon.
Morning. Yes.
This morning. Love is such a very beautiful term. When I got a call, or rather, when I got an invite to come and speak at the show, I was very much excited, especially with this term around love.
Yes.
I'm okay. I'm just gonna start here. I'm a father of a very beautiful 4-month-old baby daughter.
Wow.
So you can imagine, I'm experiencing love like I've never experienced love before. Making sure that I'm there for my daughter, that she's got the clothes, she's well fed, she's well taken care of. I increased, my savings, from 10 to 20% because she's now around. That is all love,
Wow.
I'm changing the way I do things now because I've got a baby daughter.
Yes.
Love is such a beautiful thing. If you may allow me, I'll just love to read something from 1 Corinthians 13, New International Version. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 1. If I speak in tongues of men and angels, but do not have love, I'm just nothing but a resounding gong. I'm a clanging cymbal. If I've got the gift of prophecy and can perform all sorts of mysteries and have all the knowledge, if I have faith that can be moved, or rather that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing.
Wow.
In this passage, I'm not preaching, but in this passage we find Paul speaking about love to say, at the end of it all, it comes down to love. The world will be so much of a better place if we practiced love. I believe this, this passage, when the writer wrote this passage, I believe himself, he wanted to teach, dedicate something to the reader to say, we can have all things in life, but if the connection is not love, then it's just nothing. Because listen here, he says, you can have, the faith that can move all mountains. But if you don't have the love, because even the Bible says itself, God is love himself.
True.
So yeah, love is such a beautiful thing, as I just explained now to say, with me, even with my late mother, may her soul rest in peace, I've never experienced so much love from a human being. And I believe that is the love which God wants us to share with the world.
Wow, awesome stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the name of your 4-month-old baby? Is it a girl or boy? You said a girl, no?
Yes, it's a girl.
Wow.
Her name is Amani. Amani is an original text from Swahili, which means peace, love and peace.
Wow.
So I'm glad that, it all connects, love and peace, and another name, I also named her Blessed, to say she shall be a blessing, in all the days of her life.
Wow, that's awesome. Awesome stuff to know.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think you are right. I think would you say that through your daughter you experience actually true love?
Yes,
you
ma'am.
actually get to understand what unconditional love comes in now, because remember
Yes.
And I think that's where unconditional love comes in now, because remember, she will piss you off when she grows up. She will mess on the floor after you clean up or things like that, but you will still love her regardless of what she will do.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's beautiful to know.
Yes, ma'am. You touched such a very powerful point to say love comes with no conditions. The minute you put conditions on it, it's not love. Because if I'm able, me as a grown man as I am, to go and look for a counterpart, a person that will play the strings of my heart, my soulmate. It's a person, number one, I'm not married to at the time. Number two, I'm not even related to, but I will find a way to love that person. To me, that is such an amazing thing. Risking everything that I am and everything that I have for this one thing that I believe in, which is love. You understand? So as you say, we fight, time and again as human beings. Obviously, my daughter's gonna, mess with me, time and again. But this thing that is called love is actually unconditional.
Yeah, I love what you said. Now it's true. Once you put conditions to it, it's no longer love.
No longer love.
Then I want to ask you now a question. You don't have to answer it, but I see a symbol of marriage in your finger. So I just want to know what's happening.
Okay. Now I'm just going to be very honest. I am not married at the moment. Okay. The reason why I put a ring on my finger.
You want to be boarded.
That is actually part of it. That is partially the reason. We work with a lot of people, and actually, of course, I do want to get married in the near future. With a very lovely lady that I'm not going to mention. Okay. I would wish to get married. The ring is actually a symbol of me married to my work. 1, 2, me married to Christ. Okay. Married to Christ, married to my purpose. But I would really love to get married in the near future. In fact, I nearly got married some years ago, to some lady. But obviously, when you are on the path of searching, you find out that, maybe some things are just not, in line with your purpose and stuff like that. But somebody is coming very soon, very soon.
Okay, no, awesome stuff. Yeah, no, everybody wants to get married one sooner or later. We should do that. And then I just want to check with you, since you've got a 4-month-old baby.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what actually happened there in that previous relationship? Do you want to talk about or share with us why didn't it work? Or was it differences, or what was the reason for it?
Okay, what a question. No, it's fine. No, I'm just gonna answer it as it is. Look, we meet people along the way, and every person that comes to your life is there to teach you or to contribute a certain purpose for that particular season. And with me, obviously, I've been around. I've dated, the finest women. I can't say to all of them they were the wrong ones. Sometimes it was me that I needed a little bit of growing up. So I can say I don't blame any person that I've been involved with. I'm not saying it's their fault that we're no longer together. I'm also equally to be blamed that we're no longer together in the process. Look, it was just a matter of growth and growing up. Yeah, but I believe the future is very bright.
Wow, awesome. Now I believe so too.
Yes, ma'am.
So what can you tell us? What have you learned, even if it was not this relationship with your 4-month-old baby daughter's mother, any previous relationship? Like you said, people, we meet them for a reason. They come into our life for purposes. And sometimes we have to learn lessons from the people that we meet. Is there anything that you can share from us from your past relationships, or maybe specifically this one? What have you learned from it?
Yeah, one thing I've learned, especially in my previous relationships, 1 or 2 that are maybe quite similar, was that we as guys, most of the time we go for looks, outer looks, and then we forget about the inner person. I once asked a question at my youth service at church some years ago to say, how do you know if you really love someone? 1, if that person, as we grow up, if they lose their shape, would you still love them? That's a question that you need to ask them. If they lose their complexion, if they lose their external, features, would you as a person be willing to settle and love them? And then I came to realize that most of the time, the mistakes I did, and I believe most of us do, is we go for the external looks, which, you know, somewhere some writer speaks about to say that fades away. But we need now to pass. The minute I see you, maybe at the streets, obviously I'll have the first impression to say, I love how she walks, I love her eyes, I love her smile, whatsoever.
Yes.
But now, the minute I get a chance to meet you, I need to pass from that to now search for the inner person, that incorruptible seed that lies in you. To say, will you be able to connect with the inner man, the person that lies in me? Because this is temporal, this body is temporal, it shall pass. But what has been placed inside of us will be, you know, forever. I'll make just one last example. When a person dies, their body will remain with us, but we'll say they are gone. So my question is, where have they gone to? Which means they've passed on. All right. Now, what is important is not the body that we see. What is important is the inner man, that incorruptible seed that I'm talking about. That is the real you. So if you are able to connect with that man, my sister, my brother, you are in love.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It doesn't go with looks also.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Beautiful and lovely listeners, we have Sifiso Nkosi here. You can comment. You are more than welcome to comment, and you're also welcome to send us your requests, any topic that you'd like us to discuss on the show. We have Sifiso here. So it's so nice to interview Sifiso. Another question that I wanted to ask you was, in future, for the ladies that are, we know you might not be looking, but for the ladies that are out there, but you said there's a woman, there's somebody that you might be getting married to. Is there somebody specific, or are you still looking, or you not looking, but you're hoping for that person to come in the near future? And what must she look like? What is she like if she exists?
Okay. All right. No, thank you so much for the question. Very lovely question. You know, I'm very disturbed, or rather disappointed, by how we, especially us, you know, the black race, in our upbringing, are raised. You know, I believe that if we spend more time, you know, investing in a girl child, the qualities of life, I mean, the simple qualities such as, you know, you respect the next person. You greet the next. You can't just, you know, come across a person, an elderly person. You know, you are not taught to greet. You are not taught to respect as a mutual, as a basic, you know, human principle. So I believe that as a society, we've got a greater responsibility to teach a girl child, you know, how to behave, to actually give them love, so that they don't just throw themselves. Because what we see now is we find young girls throwing themselves at us, and they would expect us, you know, to settle with them. So one, with me, don't go for the material things that I have, because I may have, you know, multiple houses, multiple cars. You know, I may be, you know, one of the best-selling authors Enthusiast produced. We'll talk about that some other day. You know, but if you come to me, you know, for that material, then to me it's a totally wrong thing. Come to me because you know, as I spoke now, you know, of the inner man, there's some quality that you like. One, respect the next person. Make sure that you love the next person. Generally, so it doesn't matter your race, your background, or where you come from. You understand? So with me, just have that basic principle, you know, basic human principle, which is respect. Because I cannot stand a woman that is so disrespectful. Yo, I cannot. Trust me, I cannot. Just have that basic principle of respecting. Done.
Wow. No, that's very, very true. I think that's a man's need.
Yes.
Man needs to be respected.
Yes.
I think it's one of the late pastors. I think it's Miles Monroe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he also teach on it. So it is true, and I love that. So your daughter might be one of those girls that will show respect to men,
Of
since
course.
you say it needs to be invested in
Yes,
a girl child to
of course.
to show them so that they know and be aware of respecting men. It
Correct.
is so true. It is really, really true. You can never win a husband's heart if you are disrespectful towards him. I believe that, and it is so true. We affect our relationship, we affect our marriages if we don't show respect to a man.
Correct.
As I remember also, there was a time in my life, I also shared my story. As it was written also in your newspaper.
Yes.
Some years ago, or about the name of the book, Only God Can, where I had to actually share. Chapter 1 says, instead of a wife, I was a knife. So in other words, I only uttered this not nice words.
That is
I don't even want to think about it, but the words and the way I disrespected my husband in public, I needed to learn that is not a way how a man should be treated.
Yes, ma'am.
I needed to learn that way. So it is very, very true. You can actually lose your crown as a woman if you are in a relationship or in a marriage with a man. So thank you so much for sharing that. It is very, very true. And also, like you said, what I like is you said they shouldn't be after what you have.
Yes.
Your material things and stuff like that, but they should actually value you for your qualities and want you for who you are as a person.
Correct.
That's so awesome and so beautiful. Sifiso, in closing, I want to ask you, what message or advice can you give to the upcoming youth that want to be like you? Maybe they're struggling and they're still falling around with advice about relationship. Maybe you're looking for a woman, like you explain now, for love, or any message to a father out there who's got a newborn baby. What would you tell them?
All right, let me start with the fathers that they have, newborn babies, especially daughters. The minute your daughter grows up, you as the father should be the first boyfriend. Meaning flowers, she should learn getting flowers from you, date nights from you as a father, so that when boys come, she's used to it. It's not a foreign language. Make sure you are actually very transparent to them. Tell them what's happening, especially when they reach the teen stages, because in most cases we fail them because we don't tell them the truth. An advice to young people that I would say is just be yourself. Don't fake yourself. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, because it's easier to fall in love as human beings. So I don't want to fall in love with fake, because sooner or later the truth will come, the real you will come. So what then?
Wow.
That is why we find now people getting divorced, because a person pretended to be something they're not. They get into the marriage 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line, they show now their true colors. Then the man or the woman will start to say, no man, this is not what I actually bargained for. So be yourself, be as natural as possible. Let the man that you love or the woman that you love fall in love with the natural and the real you, because that's what that's what the world lacks. We lack that origin, that originality. We want so much to be like your Nicki Minaj, your the people that we see on TV, which from the hair to the makeup which is not wrong. It's not wrong, trust me. But I would rather prefer that you as a woman don't filter. That is why personally I'm not against makeup, right? But I would prefer that when I meet you, you're not having your makeup on, so that I see your real skin. I see how you look. You understand? All these the weaves, the long nails. I'm not against them. Actually, I love them. I want my women to rock them, to go to the mall. Let other men see but can't touch. But let me see you for real, for the real you. I believe we'd have a better society and better community.
What a beautiful message. And it is so true, because I was once young, and you find out you don't want to leave the house without wearing makeup. You don't want your boyfriend to see you without you being dressed up. But actually, I love what you said, and I believe that men love actually natural women. And the rest will come, just like you said. Let me see you the way you are, and later on the makeup and stuff, it's not a problem. But I want to see you, not catfish.
Exactly.
Correct. Thank you so much for your beautiful message. And another thing what I love, I envy your daughter. She's very lucky to have a dad like you.
Thank you so much.
So keep it up. Keep it up. She's really lucky. And as you mentioned, you introduce all those things to her, the flowers, the date nights, even, so that it's not foreign to her once other guys start approaching her, buying her flowers.
Correct.
Now, very, very true. I love that. It's very beautiful. And once again, I want to say thank you so much for your time, and keep on doing what you're doing. You are a blessing to many. You are a blessing to your daughter.
Thank you so much.
And may God bless you. Thank you for showing up on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, lovely listeners. This was Sifiso Nkosi, and thank you so much for tuning in. We love you and God bless.
This is your #1 radio station around the world.
This is Talitha Cumi FM.
Station.